Aiden Hale was an ordinary young human living on the space colony called Aurora 7. The colony floated in silent orbit around a calm blue planet known as Ilindra, a world of gentle forests, glowing lakes, and endless soft winds. The people of Aurora 7 lived in peace and harmony with the Ilindrans, a friendly alien race who looked almost human, except for the soft light that glowed in their eyes when they felt strong emotions. Aiden always found Aurora 7 peaceful, but sometimes it felt too quiet. There were no great adventures, no great dangers, nothing exciting that made his heart beat fast. Each day was almost like the day before. He woke up, walked to the research center, studied plant growth or atmospheric patterns, and then went home. It was a calm life, but sometimes he wished for something more. That something more arrived in a form he did not expect. Her name was Lyria, an Ilindran girl around his age. She worked in the harmonic garden, a place where humans and Ilindrans grew plants that responded to music. The plants swayed, glowed, and grew depending on the sounds around them. It felt like walking in a slow, gentle dream. Lyria had eyes that shimmered softly, like moonlight on water. She was calm when she spoke, yet her presence carried a quiet energy that made Aiden feel warm when she smiled. They met on a morning when Aiden was assigned to test the air purity around the harmonic garden. He had walked in holding a tablet and a small scanner, expecting another routine task. But the moment he stepped inside, he saw her singing softly to the plants. The glowing petals of the flowers leaned toward her voice, as if they loved her. Aiden froze. He had never seen anything so gentle. Lyria turned her head, saw him standing there, and smiled. "You must be the researcher from Aurora 7, she said, voice quiet like a breeze. "My name is Lyria. You can come closer. The flowers like new faces." Her tone was welcoming, warm, not shy. Aiden slowly walked to her side. The flowers glowed in soft blues and greens around her. He held his scanner awkwardly, suddenly aware that he did not want to disturb the peace she created simply by being there. "You sing to them?" he asked softly. Lyria nodded. "Ilindran life responds to emotion. Everything is connected. We do not grow plants with only water and sun. We give them feeling. Music is a way to share feeling without words." Aiden listened. Something in his chest stirred. He wasn't sure what it was. From that day, Aiden found more reasons to visit the garden. Some days it was for research. Other days he just wanted to be near her. He did not know if she noticed his extra visits, but she welcomed him every time with that same soft, warm smile. They walked among the glowing plants. They laughed quietly about silly things. They shared stories from their cultures. Humans had cities full of noise. Ilindrans had forests full of music. Sometimes the two of them sat by the luminous lake, where the water reflected the colors of the sky and the soft lights of Ilindran life. They talked about dreams, hopes, and worries. Simple things, but real. Their friendship grew like the plants in the garden, slow, gentle, and full of meaning. But Aiden felt something inside him that he did not know how to say. Whenever Lyria smiled at him, his chest felt warm. Whenever she stood close, the world seemed quieter. Whenever she laughed, the day felt brighter. He did not know if she felt anything too, or if Ilindrans even felt love the same way humans did. He tried to ignore it. He told himself it was just friendship, but the heart does not listen to logic. One evening, Aurora 7 prepared for their annual Harmony Festival, a celebration of peace between humans and Ilindrans. Light ribbons floated in the air, soft music played from every direction, and people wore colorful garments that represented unity. Aiden and Lyria went together, though they did not call it that. They walked through the festival side by side. Lyria wore a dress woven from Ilindran silk that shimmered like stars. Aiden wore simple white fabric, nothing special, but she did not seem to care. They watched dancers move slowly in circles, hands connected, lights drifting around them like fireflies. Lyria turned to him. "Do you like it?" "Yes," Aiden answered, but his voice trembled because he wasn't talking about the festival. Lyria looked at him for a long moment. Her glowing eyes flickered like the shimmer of a candle flame. "Aiden," she said softly, "you feel something, don't you?" His breath stopped. He tried to speak, but the words sat in his throat heavy and unsure. "Yes," he whispered. "I do." Lyria took a step closer. The air between them changed, soft, heavy with something tender. "I feel something too," she said. Aiden's heart beat faster, not from excitement, but from something deeper, something gentle, but then she smiled, a sad, soft, kind smile. "It is delicate," she said quietly. "Human time moves fast. Elindran time moves slow. Your heart burns bright. Our hearts glow steadily. If we move too quickly, we will break the balance. It must be slow, patient." Aiden nodded. He understood, even if it hurt a little. But then she surprised him. She leaned forward, slow, careful, and kissed him. It was not dramatic. It was not passionate. It was soft, light, like a petal touching skin. But when her lips touched his, something extraordinary happened. Aiden felt something open inside him. A door he didn't know existed. For a moment he was not just standing in the festival, he was standing in endless fields of gentle blue light. He saw memories that were not his, Elindran memories, of forests glowing under twin moons, of laughter under waterfalls of light, of long lives lived in harmony and kindness. He felt peace. So deep, so endless, it felt like floating. It lasted only a second, but it felt like a lifetime. When they parted, Aiden stared at her with wide eyes. "Lyria, what was that?" She smiled softly, but there was a hint of sadness. "To you," she said gently. "That was just a kiss." Her eyes shimmered like starlit lakes. "But for us, for Elindrans, a kiss is a sharing of spirit. We share a piece of who we are. It is small, but also eternal." Aiden felt his heart tremble. "So what does that mean?" he asked. Lyria looked up at the sky where the moons reflected softly across the lake. "It means," she said, "your lifetime is now connected to mine." For the next few days after the festival, Aiden felt different. Not in a dramatic or sudden way, but like a quiet warmth rested inside him that didn't leave. It was gentle, soft, and calm. A feeling like being wrapped in sunlight or held by a memory that never fades. He would wake up in the mornings and find himself smiling without reason. When he worked, the world seemed clearer, sounds sharper, colors warmer. And whenever he closed his eyes, he could feel something, or someone, near. It was Lyria. Their connection after the kiss was not physical, and not exactly emotional in the usual sense. It felt like their hearts were now tied by a thin, glowing thread that stretched between them. Aiden could feel her presence the way one feels the warmth of a candle even with eyes closed. He did not hear her thoughts, nor she his. But he could sense her emotions, gentle ripples of warmth, curiosity, and sometimes quiet sadness. On the third day, he returned to the harmonic garden again. The plants glowed softly around her as she tended to them, and when she looked up to see him approaching, her eyes brightened like moonlight touching water. "You feel it, don't you?" she asked softly. Aiden nodded. "Yes, I don't know how to describe it. It's peaceful. Like a part of me is resting even when I'm awake." Lyria smiled. She placed her hand on one of the glowing leaves, guiding its slow sway. "That is the Elindran way," she said. "We share ourselves not to lose anything, but to help each other grow. Now, when you feel lonely, you will not feel empty. When you feel unsure, you will feel calm. Our spirits touch even when we are far apart." Aiden stepped closer. "So, this is normal between Elindrans? You share this with many people?" Lyria shook her head gently, her hair glowing faintly as it caught the sunlight. "No, we only share this bond when the heart chooses, and the heart only chooses rarely." Aiden felt his chest tighten, softly, not painfully. "Then why me?" he whispered. Lyria did not answer at first. She walked slowly through the garden, guiding him to sit beside her near a cluster of softly shimmering flowers. The air smelled sweet, like soft rain and fresh leaves. "When I first saw you," Lyria said quietly, folding her hands in her lap, "you looked like someone who was searching, not for adventure or excitement or fame. Something different, something quiet, something true." Aiden listened carefully. He had always felt a little out of place, even among humans, like there was something more he should feel, something deeper than simple routines. "You walked through the world like someone who wanted to understand it," Lyria continued, "not to control it, not to escape it, but to feel it, to be part of it." Her eyes glowed softly. "That is the kind of heart that connects." Aiden's breath slowed. His chest felt warm and steady. "I'm glad," he said softly, "that it was you." Lyria smiled, and for a moment, their connection felt stronger, like a string being gently pulled, vibrating with warmth. But then the wind changed, and Aiden noticed something in her expression. The softness was still there. The warmth was still there. But there was something else too, and something quiet and heavy. "Lyria," he said, voice careful, "are you afraid?" She lowered her eyes. "A little," she admitted. He waited. He did not push her. He remembered how gentle she had told him their connection must be. Finally, Lyria looked up again. "Humans live fast," she said softly. "You feel and change quickly. Your lives move like the rushing river. Elendrins live slow. Our hearts change over many years. Our bond lasts a very long time, longer than a human lifetime." She lowered her gaze again, the shimmering garden lights reflecting in her eyes like stars. "And I do not want to cause you pain," she whispered. "One day your river will reach its shore, and I will still be here." Aiden listened. There was no shock. He had known Elendrins lived longer, hundreds of years, perhaps more. It wasn't a surprise, but hearing it like this, in connection to them, felt different. He thought for a moment. Then he smiled gently. "Lyria," he said, "you're worried about the ending." She looked up slowly. "But I'm thinking about the time we have before that." Lyria froze for just a second, and her eyes filled with something deep and luminous. A feeling like gratitude and love, not loud love, not burning love, quiet love, soft love. "The kind that lasts," Aiden continued, voice steady. "No one knows how long anything lasts. Human or Elendrin, time is unpredictable. But we're here now, and that's real. That matters." Lyria's breath trembled just once, and before she exhaled softly, "Your heart is gentle," she whispered. "Gentle hearts are rare." Aiden smiled slightly. "Maybe that's why it found yours." They spent the rest of the day in calm silence among the glowing plants. Sometimes they talked, sometimes they simply sat. Their connection was warm and steady, like two candles sharing light. That evening, Aiden walked home across the soft pathways of Aurora 7. The colony lights glowed faintly in the twilight. People laughed quietly nearby. Music drifted from open windows, and the world felt peaceful and full of meaning. But as he approached his home, he felt something in his chest and a soft ripple of emotion that was not his. Sadness. Not strong, not overwhelming, just a quiet ache. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Lyria." He didn't need to be near her to feel her heart. He didn't run. He didn't panic. He simply walked back toward the harmonic garden, guided by the soft pulse of shared emotion. He found her standing alone by the luminous lake, looking out at the glowing water. The reflection of the moon shimmered like silver silk across the surface. Aiden walked to her side quietly. She did not look at him, but she didn't need to. She knew he was there. "I am afraid of losing something I have only just begun to feel," she said softly. Aiden looked at the water too. "Then don't lose it," he said. Gently, Lyria turned her head toward him, and something changed in her expression. The fear was still there, but it was softer now. Not sharp, not overwhelming, just human, just real. "You stay," she whispered. "I stay," he replied, and the bond pulsed, warm, gentle, steady, like two hearts beating in the same quiet rhythm. They didn't kiss this time. They didn't need to. Sometimes, connection is not in touch but in presence. Days became weeks, and weeks slowly became months. Life on Aurora 7 continued as always. Gentle winds, soft music, glowing gardens. But for Aiden and Lyria, everything felt different now. Their bond did not fade. It grew, quietly like the slow opening of a flower. There was no rush in their love. No loud promises. No dramatic declarations. They simply shared life. In the mornings, Aiden would go to his research center while Lyria worked in the harmonic garden. But every day, even when they were apart, Aiden could sense a warm presence near his heart. And sometimes when Lyria felt joy or peace, Aiden felt a soft glow inside him, like someone was whispering a smile into his chest. In return, whenever Aiden felt calm or hopeful, Lyria's eyes would glow faintly even when she didn't realize it. Their bond was a gentle conversation of souls. One quiet afternoon, Aiden sat with Lyria under a wide alendron tree, whose branches spread like a soft umbrella overhead. The leaves shimmered the colors of early sunrise, gold, soft pink, pale lavender. They sat close but not touching. Closeness was no longer about distance. Aiden watched a breeze move the leaves. "I used to think love was something huge," he said thoughtfully. "Something that hits all at once, loud, heavy." Lyria listened, her eyes soft. "But with you," he continued, "it feels like breathing. Like something I don't have to try for, it just exists." A tender smile formed on Lyria's lips. "That is how Elendrons love," she said. "Love is not fire. Love is light." Aiden nodded. It made sense, especially with her, but Lyria's gaze lowered slightly. "Not sad. Thoughtful. Aiden," she said slowly. "Soon there will be a time when our worlds ask us to decide how we walk forward. Human society and Elendron society, they do not always move the same way." Aiden looked at her, listening carefully. "Humans form families quickly," Lyria explained. "They grow together, change together within short years. Elendrons move slowly over long seasons, long cycles. If we walk together, our pace must become one pace." Aiden thought about it. He had always known their lives were different, but now he understood the meaning. "We don't have to choose everything now," he said softly. Lyria smiled. "No, we simply choose to walk, and step by step the path will show itself." They let silence settle between them, not heavy, just peaceful. One evening, the people of Aurora 7 prepared for the celestial alignment, a rare event when the two moons of Elendra would cross paths in the night sky. The Elendrons believed the alignment strengthened emotional bonds and opened the heart to clearer understanding. Humans treated it like a quiet holiday and a night of reflection. Aiden and Lyria sat by the luminous lake again, as they did many times before. The water glowed softly under the first moonlight. The air was calm, almost still. "Lyria," Aiden asked gently, "what does this alignment mean for Elendrons?" She closed her eyes for a moment. "It is a moment when the heart becomes easy to speak," she said. "When truths held inside can flow more freely." Aiden nodded. He felt something inside him, steady and ready. He turned slightly to face her. "Lyria," he said quietly, "I want to walk whatever path leads to you, even if it is slow. I do not need days full of excitement or loud adventure. I only want to be near your heart. I want to live my life with you, however time allows." Lyria opened her eyes. They shimmered, not brightly, but deeply, like starlight resting in a still lake. "Aiden," she whispered, "I want the same." She moved closer, not because the moment needed closeness, but because it was natural. The night air wrapped around them like a soft blanket. "Then let us decide together," she continued. "Humans measure love in years. Elendrons measure love in growth. If we choose this bond, we will walk slowly. We will not rush the heart. We will let love grow gently and we will hold it through time." Aiden nodded. "I want that, however slow it is." Lyria reached out, and this time she took his hand. It was their first time holding hands since the kiss. The contact was simple. No glowing light, no magical surge, just warmth. Warmth that held memory, trust, connection. The moons crossed above them, and Aiden felt something deep in his heart. Steady, clear and sure, not excitement, not nervousness, just love. Soft, patient love. Life did not change in dramatic ways after that. There were no sudden announcements, no celebrations, no grand gestures. Their love existed quietly, woven into daily life. They walked together to work sometimes. They ate meals together under the Elendron tree. They listened to music by the harmonic garden. They told stories in simple, gentle, real, and sometimes, without speaking a word, they simply sat side by side, breathing the same air, sharing the same quiet world. The colony noticed their closeness, but no one questioned it. Humans and Elendrons had learned long ago that the heart follows its own language. One day, while tending to the flowers, Lyria paused and looked at Aiden. "You have changed," she said softly. Aiden looked up, surprised. "How?" "You are calmer now," she said. Your heart used to feel like a river with fast water. Now it is a lake, still, clear. Aiden smiled. Maybe that's because of you. Lyria shook her head gently. No, it is because you allowed yourself to be seen. And you allowed yourself to love gently. That is your own doing, Aiden laughed softly. Maybe we did it together. Lyria's eyes warmed. Yes, she said. Together, years passed, not quickly and softly. Time flowed gently, like music you don't realize you're listening to until you feel it in your chest. Aiden did not grow old fast. Lyria did not change much at all, but something about them matured, not in body but in presence. Their connection deepened. Their hearts learned to move slower, in harmony. Some nights they sat at the lake again. Lyria would rest her head lightly on his shoulder. Aiden would watch the glowing water quietly. No words, and none needed. Their love was not about time, it was about being together. Being present, being known. One evening, as they watched the sunset paint the sky in soft gold, Lyria spoke. You remember the kiss? Aiden smiled gently. I could never forget it. She looked at him, eyes shining with soft affection. You said it felt like a lifetime. Aiden nodded. It did. And it still does. Lyria touched his hand again, warm, steady. That is because, she whispered, love is not counted by years. Love is counted by moments that live forever in the heart. Aiden felt the truth of her words, not rushed, not loud, not dramatic, just real, just love.